The first thing we told our team before the series started was how experienced and tough Denver is. They've come back from 3-1 down. They've got a team that's stuck together now for years. I think they came back from 3-1 down twice in the same season. So that it's a group that has just, they've been together, they've been through the battles, so we knew it was going to be really difficult. Mike does a hell of a job. Jokic is ridiculous. Really happy to not have to worry about him anymore. But they had a hell of a season with all the injuries, and I hope they get healthy. I also want to just mention how happy I am for Demarcus Cousins. Obviously I wanted to win, but that guy put his heart on the line for us several years ago, and he's been through hell. Torn Achilles, torn ACL. He's a great guy. He was a great teammate here, and really, really fun for me to just see him play so well. I can say that now because we won, but he had a great series. So with that, I'll take some questions.
You go start the fourth quarter down 8. Can you discuss what your thoughts were at that moment? What did you tell your team, and what do you think was the difference in the fourth quarter?
I think, it's been 3 years since we've been in the playoffs, and you kind of forget how difficult closeout games are. And I think our guys felt that the entire way. Denver was loose. They had nothing to lose. They played really well for 3 quarters, but 8 points is nothing. That's what I said to the team. 8 points is just a couple of minutes with 2 or 3 stops in a row and a couple buckets, and we're right there. And I think we've felt that playoff pressure for the first time in a few years, and our guys responded. But to be honest, I think it was for 3 quarters, it was like our guys, our main guys, Steph, Draymond, Clay, maybe they had forgotten a little bit just about how difficult it is to close out a series.
Steve, how would you describe what you got from Gary?
I don't know how to begin on that one, Monty. His defense in the fourth quarter was just fantastic. That's why I stayed with him. But then he started knocking down threes and getting to the rim for a couple layups, and I thought he was just a huge factor in the game, and he deserved to stay out there with the way he was playing. So we kept him out there the whole fourth, and he came through big time.
Is this what you saw from him several points during the season where, a lot of times role players will have nice regular season moments, but he always seemed like a playoff player, a fourth quarter playoff type player?
Yeah, he doesn't seem too fazed by anything. Gary, I guess when you've bounced around like he has, been in the G League, played on 10-day contracts, never really found a home. There's a lot more pressure in that than there is in, playing in a high stakes game. He's found a home here. He's always seemed comfortable on the floor, never seems overwhelmed. His defense is elite, and he's a very unique offensive player, but he's worked so hard on his 3-point shot. And I think that was really a big factor in his growth this year and his ability to stick and make a big impact for our team.
Steve, how would you evaluate Draymond yet again in there, and just everybody swarming on Jokic to try to? Yeah,
what Draymond does is it's hard to quantify. The stats never do him justice. I just feel like he's built for the playoffs. This is what he's all about. When you can actually exert the energy that he exerts and the competitive force, and get a day off the next day and not have 3 games in 5 nights in every city and all that stuff. The regular season is kind of hard for him, because the games aren't as meaningful, and he's at his best when the games are the most important.
See, this game had a lot of shoulders and elbows going, a lot of fouling and so forth. It's kind of ugly. What did you think you had to do to kind of bring the game back to what you guys want to do on offense, especially?
I thought when we started getting stops in the fourth quarter and we didn't foul, so the game started to flow. and we finally started to move the ball. I thought we were really forcing shots the whole first half. Everybody was kind of anxious, trying to do it on their own a little bit. And they shot 20 free throws in the first half too. So we were, bringing the ball up the floor against their half-court defense, which is excellent. They're fifth-ranked defense in the league in terms of, playing in the half-court. So you got to be able to beat them in flow, in transition. And even after, if they make a shot, Draymond can push it up. But after a free throw, they're just sitting there waiting for you. So second half was way better. Only 9 free throws compared to 20. We got a lot of stops. We held them to 44% shooting, 6 for 29 from 3. So we were getting stops, and then that allowed us to flow, and the ball started to move.
Steve, you mentioned Gary's defense in the fourth quarter, but what about overall the team? I think Nuggets only scored 6 points in the first 8 minutes of the quarter, and it seemed like you said, you got a bunch of stops in a row that you hadn't gotten earlier. What changed, or did anything change?
I just think the lineup that was out there really, set a tone with Gary and Otto. That's why we stayed with them, throughout that fourth quarter, because that group was playing so well with Steph, Clay, and Draymond. So it was all about the defense. Gary's right there. You'd rather talk to him.